Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with Willie Comic Roundup. We've made it through, well, most of the roundup. Now it's going to wrap things up with this week's Batman books. Kicking things off, we've got Batman number 138. Continuing, Batman Catwoman, The Gotham War. Where we left off, Batman had kidnapped Red Hood after a fight, which had broken out between the two of them while Red Hood was attempting to, or was helping Catwoman's crew of thieves with pulling off a massive auto heist. Batman had also discovered that Vandal Savage now owned Wayne Manor, and Catwoman's chief lieutenant Marquise was revealed to us readers to be none other than Scandal Savage. So we get a quick explanation of Vandal Savage's origins. The meteorite that he gets his powers from also was responsible for the Lazarus Pits. And Savage's plan involves apparently bringing all the pieces of the meteor together in Gotham City. In Gotham City presently, we find out just what it is that Batman has done to Red Hood. Basically rewritten, kind of something similar to what Batman did with himself, was the creation of Zero-N-R. Basically, he explains he can't change Jason's personality with the training that created Zer, but he can add to it. Is making it his own failsafe. Saying it's the only way. And Jason's a murderer. He's a bull in a china shop, and he goes round and round with. They go round and round with each other, trying to figure out how to. Batman trying to figure out how to help make Jason a better man, to heal him. But Nightwing is looking into what is basically going through the failsafe that Batman set up in the apartment that Thomas and Martha Wayne initially lived in. Apparently, Batman gave Nightwing access to it. But Robin shows up. The two of them fight it out. Tim saves Dick and pulls Damian away from him. Catwoman is not happy with what's going on with Red Hood's disappearance. But Ico has put a message out for everyone to keep an eye out for Red Hood, but nothing yet. Dario suggested it's noticing Batman. Maybe the two of them take each other out. Though Selina points out that Red Hood's good, but he's not that good. She realizes also that Batman has done something. And that if they can't find Jason, they might be next. and none of the thieves are responding to messages. which has led Daria to believe that maybe, or at least has Daria to think that maybe Batman hunted them down. Daria reports of them being arrested, though. But Selina says she's going to go to Red Hood. Marquis stops her, saying that there are reports of a Batman skirmish on the south side. And she adds that Selina's the only one who can stop him, talk him off the ledge, adding he's the most dangerous man alive and he's pulling their operation apart piece by piece. Though Selina counters that by stating that when Batman thinks he's right, there's no convincing him otherwise. Marquis says that Selina will have to try, because she knows as well as anyone that Batman always wins. So that's the only case. The only way forward is to convince them that leaving them alone is winning, and if she can find Hood, and their thieves trust her. But Batman gets an alert from Riddler, which comes into the safe house as Batman has shown up. Batman, oh Batman, beware, there's a new player in your game. His canvas was once stone, and he defies the dirt. Presumably, Vandal Savage. But Batman beats Nightwing, but in the fight, though Nightwing managed to get off a grapple gun shot in the back of Batman's head, and I'll say that not everything's so black and white. Damian and Tim are continuing their fight outside. Damian ends up handcuffing Tim to a pipe. Batman and Nightwing's fight then goes out on the street, with Nightwing saying he's not going to let Batman destroy the piece that Selina made. Tim then comes in and points out that he knows what a thing this is, and that Batman being like this is why Tim became Robin in the first place, because he saw Batman dipping into darkness, going it alone while consumed with a fever. Dick still has full access, and asks what Batman has done with Jason Todd. While Tim is fighting Batman, presumably, Nightwing finds out what Batman has done to Jason, calling Batman a monster, and explaining that everything's been disconnected. Tim has to stop Nightwing from fully following through, but Batman hits him with a net before escaping. Batman says that Tim and Dick have no idea how much he protects them, how much he gives to allow them to do what they do. He doesn't give a damn if the world knows his identity. He keeps it so that they can have a life. Zur-En-Arrh is, of course, whispering in Batman's ear as the police show up, but a batarang lands on the ground next to them. As Batman swings away, Damian cries out for his father, but, well, he doesn't listen. And Tim uncuffs Damian. While Marquise goes to rescue Jason, realizing that Jason is no longer the man he once was. And what she needs are warriors. Leaving without Jason. Bruce watches as Batman looks over Crime Alley, once again seeing his the image that the famous image of his young self between his dead parents. And he asks himself, how does he stop loving? But Catwoman shows up and says they need to talk. We learn more information as to what's become of the various pieces of the meteorite. Over the years, simple rocks, unusual weapons, life-altering obstructions of power, jewels decorated clueless people, stones that glistened and drew them in. Most knew they were special, but didn't realize how special. Apparently Ra's was trying quite hard to keep them from Vandal. The amulet that he wears includes a piece of it. Apparently, after Ra's death at Deathstroke's hands, Scandal found her father and brought the amulet to him. And is introducing her father to the thieves, to Catwoman's army of thieves, as she takes control. And that is where the issue ends. Turns out Battlesavage plan is to steal immortality from Gotham. Man, kind of bummed out that they seem to have. Well, it's mentioned that Scandal is not exactly her father's biggest fan, but I don't like the idea of her working with him because, well, it's kind of always been a big thing with her that she does not like her father. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Birds of Prey, number 2. Before we get started, I want to show off the two pieces of the connecting cover by David Nakayama. Had to get both. Where we left off, Black Canary had put their team together. They had him explain the mission, rescue her sister Sin from the Amazons. So we open with a flashback to Bhutan. Dinah and Sin are camping and seemingly having something of a cookout. They talk a bit. It's just, it's a cute big sister, little sister moment. In the present, Barda explains the plan, though starts to explain the plan. However, Zealous is like, yeah, no. Because she's not killing Amazons. Dinah tries to explain, ideally speaking, no, we're not going to kill any Amazons. Everyone's all pretty much agreed that they don't want to kill Amazons, so. But they've got a plan, something of a plan. It's just getting to Themyscira that's the problem. Harley does have some questions. Though the main thing is there's a plan in place for Wonder Woman. Like I said, the problem is, of course, getting to the Themyscira. Harley says she's got someone for that. Though Zealot has to go grab something that they're going to be fighting Amazons. Meridian has their transportation most of it planned out. East docks at midnight. Barda's got something to pick up, as does Canary's got something to pick up, as does Barda. Barda goes to talk to John Constantine, going as Zealot goes to get what she needs. Harley follows her, explaining that that Zealot feels new and also like she's been around forever. And they also seem to go through a mystical portal. John gets his bag of tricks back from the mystical shopkeeper keeping them, though Dinah points out that John will be betrayed. A bunch of golems show up to attack Black Canary, but it turns out that the rest of the team all had to go to this magical bazaar as well. So they work together to take out the golems, and they do so. Then they head to the East Docks, and then outside the water, the waters of the Themyscira, well, got to meet with Harley's ride, King Shark. Well, King Shark's not exactly their ride, but he's arranging it. Basically, kind of a hey, yeah, he's the king of sharks, so, and megalodons are sharks. Yeah, Dinah's not exactly thrilled about this, but I'm liking this. I'm digging it. I'm eager to see how it all plays out. There's a brief mention of the current problems going on with Wonder Woman. One mainly being that with what's going on in Wonder Woman's solo book currently, perhaps the Themysciran defenses will be divided. So, anyways, moving on to our next book, we've got Joker: The Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 11. Where we left off, both Jokers were in Gotham causing chaos, mainly trying to find and take each other out. We open with a man being kidnapped by Joker, asking if the guy looks like him. But both Jokers are killing off henchmen, causing more problems. Ravager has opted to work with Manhunter. One of the Jokers has a henchman take over, basically destroy a subway train, and the other Joker shows up with his henchman at the site of this. Another explosion within an explosion. More problems are being caused. Before yet another explosion, Killer Moth flies Joker out. Not an easy feat for him. Manhunter goes after the other Joker, while the quote-unquote real one is basically dealing with what's left of his gang, and the Joker that the Manhunter is dealing with explains that he wasn't in L.A. He doesn't know who Manhunter is. But he's also got a room full of people made to look just like the Joker, including one doing the Dr. Manhattan in nothing but a black Speedo doing the Dr. Manhattan pose, arms out to the side. Nice little nod to that, I have to say. Sometimes DC gets its Watchmen stuff, does Watchmen related stuff well. That is how you do it well. Doing a quick nod, not a 12-issue miniseries over the course of 2.5, 3 years. That's supposed to be a sequel. But Ravager and Manhunter find themselves surrounded by the other Jokers. And the issue ends with two Jokers running into one another. With another stating that, with one of the henchmen pointing out that the Joker that just faced Ravager and Manhunter isn't the Joker. He's John Kaiser. The man from the beginning that was taken by the Joker. And that is where the issue ends. Looks like the book's done with backup stories. We now know the origin of the other Joker. So, I have to admit, I'm glad this series is coming to an end, because it does feel like it's just kind of dragged on for longer than it should have. It's not bad, it's just, it feels like it's been a few issues longer than it needs to be. Moving on, though, to our last book for the week, we've got Poison Ivy, number 15. And can we just appreciate this adorable cover? I mean, it's great. I love it. Where we left off, Ivy was trapped in a building with John Undyne, the man who built the building, who now has a giant flower for a head. But Undyne tells his origin, Ivy asked what happened to him. He said it's greed. He thought he could hide his sins in the building, but no one can hide from nature's wrath. He created something incredible that would change the world. Green steel. Metal alloy that would heal itself. Flexible, strong, and incorruptible. Just one problem to it. Manufacturing it introduced a toxic byproduct that caused changes in human and animal DNA. But let's see what stop. He already won the contracts to redevelop a particular neighborhood. Green steel was already inside the structure of the building, so the evidence was buried. Undyne never imagined himself as a person who would rather hurt people than own up to his mistakes, but getting exactly what you want shows you who you really are. A construction worker was found suspended inside of a concrete retaining wall. The construction worker had been found the previous day, and the concrete had been poured 2 weeks earlier. Painter discovered a staircase that didn't exist before. Body began to appear at random, as if the building itself was committing murder. The building and the poison within the green steel didn't kill Undyne. It punished him in a far more awful way, reshaping his body, making his very touch acrid enough to melt flesh, giving him the power to force his thoughts into the minds of others. But he feels that perhaps Ivy understands. She's someone who's likely to understand him, and well, Ivy's doesn't exactly agree, and states that her and Undyne are nothing alike. If the Earth was screaming, it's because of people like Undyne. And that might be true, but he's paid the price, and now he belongs to Earth. He's one of her weapons, just as Ivy is. Basically, he wants her to join him. Meanwhile, at Slaughter Swamp, Croc returns to the hunting cabin, and Ivy's not there, so he goes to look into this. He manages to find Ivy, gets into the building, and she kind of guides him through, and thinks that he's thinking about things. The idea being that people don't think much of crocodiles. They're slow. When, obviously, something's slow, it's not smart. But Croc remember something that his mother always told him. If you get lost in a maze, keep turning the same direction, eventually you'll get out. So he takes constant left turns, and him and Ivy are reunited. And she uses the lamia to try and get through to break down the poison in the building. But she takes basically too much of the byproducts into byproducts into herself. Undyne shows back up. Him and Croc fight. But they end up bringing the building down, seemingly on top of Undyne, and Croc decides that she can have the cabin in the Slaughter Swamp. Though he states that, she tells him that he's welcome to come by any time, though he also adds that there are others. There are other people at Slaughter Swamp who might not be so friendly. Though, which leads Ivy to ask, what other people? Though Croc says, we'll just leave that conversation for another day. And that is where the issue ends. Nice wrap up to the story. Well, wrap up. I mean, it's not. The story arc is continuing after all. But that part of it's wrapped up. There's a fun bit in there where Ivy states that she hopes that Harley and Jen are getting along. Well, and yes, they absolutely are getting along. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box. Down below, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.